Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Quintessence of Leadership. And I am so excited today that I have a dear friend of literally, I was thinking we have been first acquaintances, then moved into friendship. Oh my gosh, like 2016, Ron, I think. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's been a minute.
It's been
Yes.
a minute. And I have to share with you all that, I always, I love just making sure I honor my guests. So I always, of course, ask them to share with me their bio. And without fail, friends, every time my men's bios, this long, my women's bios, this long. And it was so funny when I was saying, you see, Ron is laughing. It is so funny whenever I receive them because it is just without fail. It is always the case. And men just sometimes they just are a little more direct to the point, straightforward. And I think there's lessons in that, Ron, in so many ways. So we are going to get started
Yeah.
today,
Yeah. Okay.
right? We're going to get started. I'm going to just
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think there are lessons in it. I mean,
go for it.
yeah, how
Go,
we
go, go.
communicate is so different. Yeah, how we
Yeah.
communicate is so different. What we
Mm.
do and what we write, and sometimes that works in our favor, and sometimes, for the women that are listening, sometimes you have to ask us more questions.
There you go. And that's what we're going to do today, ask more questions. So I'm going to share just a little bit about Ron from his bio, and then I'm going to share just even from my heart about this man. So Ron is a dynamic, and I mean dynamic leadership coach, speaker, advisor, trainer. And he has just been sharing his gifts all over the globe. And as the vice president and COO of Global Core Strategies and Consulting, he utilizes his gifts, talents, and abilities to inspire professional and personal development, I will say. He's got an MBA in advanced leadership certifications from Georgetown and Harvard, and a John Maxwell Team Coach credential. Come on, Ron. So he brings a powerful combination of expertise and experience. And I will just actually say he has this level of wisdom that is just quite an anointing that he possesses. And Ron came to one of my leadership conferences on his own, came and just supported me as a friend, as a colleague, and really just, there is nothing like having someone that has your back when you're putting something on that any support you require. They want nothing from you. They simply want to pour into you, give to you, and support the vision and mission that is within you. So I am deeply grateful that Ron and I are able to come back full circle. It has been a moment. There has been some life that has lifed it for us. And we're going to really talk about the impactful leadership, because I think there's so much to unpack there. We hear these words being thrown around right here on LinkedIn. We see them on other platforms. We see them in newsletters. But I believe, quite honestly, Ron embodies what impactful leadership looks like. So without further ado, I want to get started in this dialogue. So Ron, so for you, and Ron has these isms that are amazing that he drops every now and then. So just get ready. We call them Ron isms for today.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Ron, I would love for you just to, as we are in November, Q4, end of year, right? We're all kind of taking stock in how our year has been, how we've led, how we've shown up, and how we want to move forward through the rest of this year and into 2026. So, with that, would you talk about just a little bit about what impactful leadership means, looks like, how you walk in this? Just share with us a little bit, and we'll just take the conversation from there.
Yeah, Alicia, first, thank you for having me and reaching out. And thanks for the friendship, that you return, as well as, you do it as well as most people do it. In the space that you've created here, I
Mm,
think is important. And hats off to you and your team and for what you've created here, for people to have conversations to have an impact.
Yeah.
And so when I think of impact and leadership, what I have to say, I grounded into a framework that I've used for years, called PAM. And PAM basically is people always matter.
Mm.
Everything that I
Mm.
do, I grounded in that it's a human being that I'm dealing with. I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. It's more about being connected to the people in the room versus being the smartest in the room. And so for me, I'm
Mm.
always looking for an opportunity as how do I navigate with people the uncertainty that we may encounter, the moments that I'm overwhelmed, and things at such a fast pace of change. There's no way one human being can keep up with it all. So what I've learned over time, success is not a solo act.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
always matter. So when you're frustrated, do people matter? When you don't meet your numbers, people still matter. When they disagree with you, they still matter. When they see it different, they still matter. When you're upset with them, they still matter. So
Mhm.
everything, when I think of impact, is simply because I ground everything that I do in the fact that even when I don't agree, you still matter to me. And I want to fix.
Mm.
So if you ask me, like, where do I, my all the work that I do is anchored in that one truth: people always matter.
Yeah. Wow. That is really powerful. And I love the acronym PAM. I love acronyms because it allows the brain to recall, right? So I will remember PAM. But that is really a powerful statement because sometimes we do become flustered, we become frustrated, and we don't always treat people as they matter. So I to your point, as we see behind you, right? Impact Leadership, your book. It's just I appreciate that Pam sentiment because I'm going to first take it to heart and I'm going to share it with others. And so when we are experiencing times, Ron, of challenge, of being
Yes.
flustered, of being frustrated, um, of being disheartened even with the outcomes and the output of employees, relationships, friendships, all of that, because you said people always matter, right? So not just in one single lane. What are some things that you do so that, because we are human and we do have emotions, so that you manage those emotions? What are some things that you implement?
Yeah, I think Alicia, one of the things I implement when I'm dealing with people, and recognizing first, that as long as you put people first, everything becomes easier.
Yeah.
Trust grows quicker, things get done faster, teams perform better. But one thing I've learned over time, I use an acronym, and this is the first one that I use around ism. I Q-tip it. And Q-tip for us in our organization and the work that we do is quit taking it personal. So
Ooh.
whatever is happening, I don't take it in a way that's personal. I may have to do something personally to get better, but I got to get my feelings. And if it hurt my feelings, or if I'm frustrated, whether they delivered it right or delivered it wrong, or the way that I wanted them to do it, or say it, even if it's not done that way, I have to recenter myself and say, okay, it didn't
Mm.
feel good, they didn't do it good, but what can you do with it? So I
Mm.
don't let it linger into this personal place of getting in my way of being effective. So I
Wow.
will tell you 90% of me being able to respond is as I check me first. I quit taking it personal.
Woo. Wow. Q-tip. Okay. Listen, told you had some isms, y'all. Q-tip it. I love that. Okay. That's another one. I'm so glad this is being recorded and I can come back to it as well. But and I want to just
Yeah.
sidestep for a moment. This is the importance about surrounding yourself with people who have wisdom, who have maybe been in the game longer than you, have different viewpoints. It is so important to put yourself in places and spaces with individuals like Ron, with individuals like myself, and then me with some of you that are watching, right? So it's so important that Ron already said, leadership is not about being siloed, right? It's a shared journey. And so putting yourself in different rooms, different opportunities that may stretch you in a way that make you uncomfortable. It's good for you. Because Ron is like, I'm feeling stretched right now, Ron. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think
I love it.
that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. Is are you in a room that's going to make you step up your game?
Mm,
I, you know where are you in those spaces? For me, you know what happens is people will say they want to be better, but their behavior doesn't necessarily support it. I
yeah.
want to be a better husband. Okay, then what does that look like?
Mm, mm,
Or
yeah.
I want to be a better supervisor or a better business owner, or a better partner, a better vendor. You have the and I think that part for me is I'm always saying, hey, I want to be better, but am I willing to do the work?
Yeah.
And so I always tell people, don't take it personal when you get to this place of people always matter. Then if I want to be better, I allow people to say, okay, well, what does that look like, and are you willing to do it?
Mm,
So for me, we've been in business for a while. I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing
yeah.
to make the sacrifice, and that's the
Yeah.
hard part. Is are
Yeah.
you willing to make the sacrifice? Because it's not going to
Right.
come easy. It's not going to come
Right.
fast. It's
Yeah.
going to require some faith and some
Mm,
patience and
mm.
some work and some understanding, and it's going to require people. Nobody wins by themselves. Nobody.
Mm, mm. And I like what you said about that piece of, are you willing, right? Because I will always say, is it a skill or a will problem? If it's a will problem, then you can't pull somebody up out of that, because that comes from the internal person. So I
Yes.
really appreciate what you're saying is like, you have to be willing. What does it look like? I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better leader. I want to have better relationships overall. What does that look like, and what does it entail? So I'm hearing that it's so important that we get granular and we're honest with ourselves if we're
Yes.
willing.
Yeah. And
Mm,
what is it? And also, Alicia, like, what does it require of you?
mm,
Because if you want to be a better whatever that is, then what's the requirement for you to do that?
mm,
And that's the important part. Sometimes I think we don't get really granular in that space of what's the everyday requirement, not
ooh,
the I'm gonna do it today, but I'm not gonna do it again for another 7 days or another 10 days or another month. Like every day to get better requires something every day.
mm, mm, mm.
And I think we don't really process it that way, but it definitely requires something every day.
Yeah.
Like to keep living, your heart has to beat every day.
Every day and every
Every day.
moment.
Like every moment counts. And so when you're thinking about your growth and your development, life is about living,
Mm,
so live and lean into it. So it
mm,
requires something of us every day.
yeah. And I mean, what a profound conversation around the heart. I mean, like that just got me for a second. I had to like, wow, your heart has to beat like every day and every moment. So, what's required of you every moment of every day? Like you said, not just at every 7 days or every 10 days, every moment.
Yes.
And I think that's where you're right. That's where the impact lies, because it's in that level of consistency that we operate in and that people experience from us, where the impact then has the opportunity to expand, grow, and be realized. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
Ah,
Love it.
oh,
Yeah, and I think for us, we got, how do you want people to experience you? For me, I know
mhm,
how I want people to experience me. I want them to
mhm,
experience me. I'm an accountability guy. But
mhm,
I'm nice. I can be candid, but I had
mhm.
to learn how to make sure that I'm kind and candid, because some people
Yeah.
can be candid and rude,
Mm,
or candid and unreachable, or hard to work with. And
mm.
we call it constructive criticism, which I've never really understood. Why do we call it constructive? I've never
I
ever in my life, I've never asked anybody for criticism. Now I get it, but I can promise you, I've never raised my hand and say, "Give me criticism." I ask for feedback, but I've never asked to be criticized.
Oh my, see, I'm here. Feedback, right? Let me give you some feedback. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So I think for me, when I look at people, what I do recognize, why the PAM model is so important to me. I'm a veteran, served, 21 years of military service. And no matter where I may have seen these individuals, someone looked at that individual as their
Mhm.
mother, their father, their aunt. They were someone's hero or shero. And who am I as an individual, because I'm their leader, to see them less than what they showed up at work for?
Yes.
So I always value everybody that's in front of me at the moment that they're in front of me. And I learned to value that, because, here's what I have learned. If people feel like, that they can trust you, that you care and you respect them, and sometimes we call that soft, I think those are hard performance drivers. If I can trust you, I can follow you. If you care, I'll show up. And if you respect me, I'll speak up.
Say that again. Okay, hold on. Say that again, please. Say that again.
Yeah, if I can trust you, I'll count on you and I'll be with you. If you care, I'll do the work and show up. And if you respect me, I'll speak up. Most people, when they don't feel respected, they don't speak.
That's a whole word right there. If they don't feel respected, they don't speak. Because it's not safe, right, Ron? It's not safe.
It's not safe. You don't really care. It doesn't really matter. And people pick up on that really, really quick. And when people stop talking, you're in trouble. And as long as they're talking, you get to hear what they're thinking. Here's what I'll tell people, Alicia. I've never, ever become smarter about people by talking, ever.
Wow.
I've become smarter about people by listening to them.
Yeah, listening. And listening, unfortunately, has become a lost art. Yes. Everyone's so quick to try to interject and put in what they want to say. I just want, I'm sorry I cut you off, but, right? Like that's the biggest one for me. I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off, but, right? So you realize you've cut me off, yet you're still committed to saying what you need to say in this moment, instead of catching yourself, like you're talking about that level of self-awareness, like, and leading with the people first mindset. I still want to say what I want to say. And then you may start talking again, but then I might cut you off again.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I think people will pick up on it. They'll begin to pick up that. And unfortunately, a time where everybody enjoys hearing themselves talk today. The beauty is, can you listen in two separate ways? One is can you listen without any interruption or hijacking? And can you listen and be totally quiet? And not just quiet from speaking. Can you shut down your thoughts, which is very difficult? Here's the unique part about it for people that are listening. The word listen and silent have the same letters, which means it's hard to listen if you're talking. In order to really listen, which is the best way to connect with people, is you must be silent.
Yes, Ron. Yes. And I was literally just a couple of months ago, that was brought to my attention that those two words I was like blown away. And I have really been intentional with that as well. I've always, I will say I've always been told I'm a good listener, but I've challenged myself to be an even better listener, to your point, right? Like God gave me these 2 ears and 1 mouth. He didn't give me 2 mouths so I could just be talking here and there and outside of my neck, right? He gave me 2 ears. Y'all can tell we have fun. Yes. He gave me 2 ears to listen. And I have been working on that intentionally as well myself, Ron, like you're talking about having the will to better oneself, to be honest with oneself. And that was something that I have been diligent about this year, is listening, not just even to clients, but even in my home, listening to my daughter, listening to my husband more, listening. Yes. Yes. Listening.
Yeah, and I think that because when I take the opportunity to listen to you, how would I put it that may resonate with someone? If you go into a restaurant and they just gave you what they wanted off the menu without taking your order, most of us would be frustrated. But every day in life, we're making decisions for people without involving them, and even though it's about them, we're not involving them. And in order if people really matter, you kind of got to get some ingredients from those people.
Yeah.
If they really matter, And if they don't matter, then just be honest and say, hey, I'm going to do it my way. I'm not taking any input or whatever you may want to use. But at the end of the day, even for this show, I say, hey, tell me what it is that you want to get accomplished.
Yes. Yes.
Because if you're going to help people grow, one of the most important things, if you're really going to help people grow, you got to get to know people and you got to meet them where they are.
Mm.
It's hard to lead people that you can't find.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, when you think of people always matter, I'm always trying to figure out, how do I help them grow?
Yeah. Mm. So I want to ask you a very tactile question, right? Because this conversation is such. I know you're serving many people who will be live and people who are also watching the replay. Ron, how do you? Let's say I am a part of this conversation and I realize, wow, I really want to begin to implement my people always matter sentiment that Ron has, that Pam. But I realized that I'm not really doing that great with it. Where do you suggest people start, right? Sometimes we just need to know where to start. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the place you first start at is, do you really care about people? Like
Mm.
authentically care about people in general, and not just people that you get along with, that endorse you, that agree with you, that look like you, that are in your circles. Like, do you genuinely care about people, and to
Mm-hmm.
what level?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
once you understand that, you see them totally, that it's hard. It's easy to lead people that like you and that you like, or that
Say
care
it again.
about you, and that have all those great things that come along with those individuals. If you really want to say, if you're really good at what you do, can you be in a room with a bunch of hecklers or people that don't
Mm.
endorse or don't support or are totally against you, and still see them as valid human beings that deserve the
Mm.
best of you, even if
Mm.
they don't give you the best of them? So I had to get to the place where I'm okay with people seeing the world different
Mm.
and being different and believing different and doing different. And I can say, hey, even though I don't agree that's how I would do it, I still value your opinion and your input, and I can understand it. Sometimes we think understanding means co-signing. It doesn't.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things I understand that I wouldn't naturally do, but I understand why they do it.
Yes. Yes. Wow. That's a really important discernment, right? Ooh. So first off, you just said a few things, and so you hear my brain is swirling. That part about being in that room with hecklers, I will never forget when I was in a room in Austin and I was speaking. And room was about 100 amazing business leaders. And one woman stood up, Ron. She stood up and she said, why should we listen to you? What do you have to offer? Right? I mean, it was just, and this was early in my career, Ron. And I just was like, I was just frozen because I said, how rude, first of all. Right? I'm thinking, how rude. And let me be honest, my friends, okay? I wanted to just come off the stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Pull out the earrings. I thought she did.
I was like, oh, really? This is what we're doing? Especially to other women, right? I just was like, this was my first experience. Like, and it was just right there, Ron. Um, and I had to take a moment, right? Like I had to get silent and just take a deep breath. And I had to say, nobody said you had to listen. Nobody said you had to agree. You have free will. You chose to be in this room. You chose to sit at the front. So
Yes.
if what I'm saying doesn't resonate with you, that's okay.
Yes.
You have that right.
Yes.
And I said, thank you for your feedback.
Yes.
And then I said, next. And I'm going to tell you, that room came for her later.
Yeah, and I think
But you're right. Yeah.
I think that's important. I mean, because those are the moments for me personally, and I say for Ron, I always share about me and my experience, and I suppose it doesn't mean it's for everyone,
Right.
but I've always gotten better during adversity. I've never truly grown when I was comfortable, like ever.
Mm.
It had to be something that stretched me, that took me out of my comfort zone, that made me think different, that made me respond different, that made me check myself. So in a room like that, when it's happening, I would, and I will say I have a gift that I can process really quick. So I have to slow it down, and make sure that I'm not leaving people behind. But in a room when someone challenged me, I say, hey, I'm not sure why you probably should listen to me. And I hope I earn that as we go along. So if you give me a couple of minutes, maybe I'll share something that makes that will create an opportunity where you feel like you could learn something from me right now. And that's why, when we were talking about my bio, I do it really short. And I say that even when I'm speaking publicly, I tell people, hey, I'm gonna give you this bio, but please keep it short because I'm going to earn the right for them to listen to me. I don't want them. Janet Jackson said it best. What have you done for me lately? Every time I step on stage, I have to earn the people's ability to listen or wanted to listen and wanted to get to know me. I don't think my bio is a good enough reason for people to say, hey, we endorse you. I mean, AI, you can write whatever bio you want right now, but who are you really?
Right. Oh, I love that. That's why I resonate so deeply with you, Ron, as a friend, as a colleague, as, my mentor, just because you just you carry so many of the values that I have, right? And the morals, I'll say, that I have too, right? And they may not be exactly the same, but they align. And I love what you said. What have you done for me lately? And I believe too that a bio does not qualify you to have access, right? It's how you move within who you are as a person that then opens the door for somebody to say, yes, here, yes. And let's have a conversation. So I really appreciate that about you. And I appreciate how you show up. You're so congruent. You are congruent. You are there with you. It's not that I meet you in person and now I'm trying to fit a square peg into a circular, shape. It's like, no, it's okay, square and square. They fit. Who you are here is who you are in person, is who you are in every aspect of your life. And I believe that also is a part of impactful leadership, because you are very impactful in the lives you touch. I see it with people talking about you in person. I see it with people talking about you online, and the honor and respect that people have for you. That is not something that a bio can do.
Yeah, you can have the best bio in the world, and if you get up and mess it up on stage, your bio won't save you. It's reality. I mean, so I tell people at the end of the day, what I always focus on when I'm doing a leadership. No, people always matter, but here's how you determine if that's what you live. What's the impact you have when it's all said and done? Because your degree won't matter, your job title won't matter, how smart you were won't matter, what you did on your job. And the way I came up with impact leadership is I've been surveying for about 7 years, asking people who has had the greatest impact on who you are today. And tell me the 3 words you use to describe them. And our company did research, and the things that came up were amazing. They talked about these leaders had a heart. They talked about these people had character. They talked about these people were trustworthy. They talked about these people were loving and caring and compassionate. Very little did they don't even remember their job titles, and they definitely don't remember their degrees. So your degree and your job titles are not why people follow you. That's why companies may hire you, but that's not why people follow you. If you're going to have an impact, you're going to have to come to the table with the things that Alicia, you and I are talking about. Is humility, servant leadership, courage to lead, the ability to listen, the ability to care, ability to be trusted, ability to be dependable. Like those things will always outweigh your degree or your job title. Always.
Come on. And I love that you're saying that, because quite honestly, a job title, it's rented real estate anyway, right?
Yes.
That's rented. It's not who you are, right? Your morals, your values, your character, how you make people feel.
Yes.
That is impact leadership. That is who you are. And that is what allows people to choose if they want to listen to you or if they don't, right, Ron?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I think for us, in a time like now with so much uncertainty, the one thing that people need more of are people that have an impact on them, not all the answers. I don't have 90% of the answers that I need to have, but I have 90% of the people I need around me to get to an answer.
Come on now. Come on, Ron. You better speak that truth. And that's what I tell people too. Just, that it is okay. And it's actually a value add to have people around you that are actually a little smarter than you.
Yeah, we'll be in trouble. If they count on me, we'll be in trouble. Like, yeah, I know what I'm doing over here, but y'all better help me.
A finger up, help, please, help. Agreed, Ron. Oh, I love that. Oh, I miss talking to you. You are just so full of wisdom and joy, right? Like, it's so important that we align ourselves with people that really help us see the beauty of humanity, help us see just the beauty of who we are too. And let's just see how we can show up even more, I'm gonna say more better in the world. So Ron, as we are getting ready to leave our people, please impart some more, just continue to dialogue with us and share with us something you want to leave me and our audience with.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would love to leave people with, no matter where I go, I'd always say, what's the one thing that you can practice for an entire week consistently to have an impact? Because I think people will remember something, but there's a difference in remembering and practicing. So if you're going to practice to be more kind, do it for an entire week, regardless of how you get treated. If you're going to practice listening, like, do it for an entire week, so you can build up the muscle to be better at it. Because people are looking for metrics and outcomes, and if you really want to ever help people get better, here's what I would leave with everyone. iPhone came out in 2007. Dead version number 17. So in 18 years, they've had 17 versions. Most of us have been in the industry or in the game for a lot longer than 17 years, and we're still on version 1.
Ooh. Ouch.
We have not grown. We have not gotten better. We haven't gotten smarter. We haven't gotten kinder. We haven't taken better care of people. So my challenge is, every year, if you're going to stay in the people business like I am, you're required to get better every year. So I always challenge, what version am I? So when you met me years ago, I've gotten better every year, and that's intentional.
Yes.
I'm still not the smartest, don't want to be, but I've improved myself every single year. Something I've got to get better at so I can make sure I take care of people. So my last statement to everyone is, what version are you?
Wow.
And what version do you want to be in 2026? And what are you going to do to get there?
Wow. That's very powerful. And I invite all of you that are listening live and listening on the recording, really, Ron already said, are you willing to do the work? This is what the work is. This is the work. Like Ron is giving you, go back and listen again if you're on live. If you stop, do the work. That's the work. Ron is giving you the blueprint. I hope you're picking that up. He's been dropping the nuggets of the blueprint. The willingness, though, resides within you. So, Ron, you are a dynamic individual. I mean, they don't make them like you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you are much better than the iPhone. Because you have iterated and iterated. And I have seen, right? I have experienced and seen you were already exemplary before. Like, this is like Ron 20.0, right? Like, this is better than AI.
Yes. Thank you.
Than the robot.
Yeah. And I will say, I surround myself with people that hold me accountable to be better. And that's important to me. I want people to, so when you and I are around, I want you to challenge me to always grow. Don't let me get comfortable or complacent. And that's even in your personal life. Yes. My wife wants me to be better, and I want my wife to be better. I'm not judging or competing against her, but I want her to have the best version of what she wants to be. And I support that. But I don't have this roadmap of who she has to be. That's for her. But I do have the ability to support what she wants to be without me giving her direction.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Now that, my friends, is a mic drop right there. So thank you, Ron. I am so happy that you said yes. I'm so happy that we're having the opportunity to come back together and reconnect and just like take off in 2026 and thank you again for your yes. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with those that are listening live and on the recording. And I am excited for a bright future ahead, even in front of the hecklers. So with that, thank you all for joining us. Ron Harvey, my friends, please follow him. Please connect with him. He is an absolute gem. So thank you all for joining us. Until next time. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. Do you have some thoughts, comments, questions as well? Drop them below. I'd love to hear them and actually respond to you as well. Don't forget to hit that little bell that you see because it'll notify you next time any new opportunities are posted to this channel. So, thank you again. And until next time, remember, continue to build trust to transform, whether it's transforming your community, your home, your business, your workplace, your voice is required. Looking forward to seeing you then. Bye.